Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. How is everyone today? Hope you all had a great weekend. A lot happening and some pleasant surprises today. So let's get through it because there's actually a lot that I need to catch up on. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's get to 40,000 before the end of the year. All right, let's see who is in the chat. Hey, Veronica. Hey, Resistors. Hey, Emma D. Hey, Claudia. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Anita. Hey, Wendy. All right. Well, I'm sure people, I don't think we have any mods yet, but I'm sure they'll stream in. I think Baron just had his podcast, so they're probably taking a break. That's fine. All right. Lots of news. So, Harry popped over to Canada for some promo for Invictus, and he was at the Grey Cup looking very happy and dapper. So the Grey Cup is actually a championship game of the Canadian Football League, and it's one of Canada's most celebrated sporting events, and it's held annually, and it determines the league championship, and it's accompanied by other festivities like this. So there were about 50,000 people in attendance. And there was also a halftime performance by the Jonas Brothers. And at one point, Harry did get put on the Jumbotron, and the people went wild when they said the Duke of Sussex. So he was received very warmly. And he also, they were showing what you can see here is merch for Invictus. And you can buy that from the Invictus store if you want to support the Invictus athletes. I'm pretty sure probably a portion of that money goes to them. And this is Invictus competitor Wene, and they were taking part in a jersey handover ceremony. And that was to celebrate the sporting events coming to British Columbia. Invictus to 2025. There's only 82 days to go. So Harry just getting on with things, Meghan getting on with things, and no leaks. It is incredible that wherever Harry and Meghan go, whatever they do, there's no leaks. Give me 1 sec, folks. And I'm back. My apologies. But yeah, as I was saying, it's incredible. Ever since they left the palace, guess what? No leaks. And why would they be when they're, surrounded by love? And they're surrounded by people that actually want to uplift them and collaborate with them and protect them and their family. A very Eiffel squaddy spotted this, that on Meghans necklace that she was wearing at the Highbrow Hippie product launch the other day. She had Archie and Lily actually engraved in that necklace. Now you can actually buy that necklace like that from Logan Howell, but she's obviously asked for it to be custom engraved. Logan Howell does some pretty amazing jewelry, by the way. Like if I had the money, I would most definitely shop there. Pretty expensive, but I can see why it's a favorite of Meghan. Okay, so bravo to Harry. More promo for Invictus. In some other news, right now we're getting closer to this court case in January. Now it's now come out that Harry is one of only 2 people who are continuing his claims against the Sun publisher. And This just goes to show how difficult it is to hold the press accountable and just how flawed the system is. Because the reason he's one of only two people is because he's probably one of only two people who can afford it. So the Duke is one of only two claimants whose claims are still live against the publisher of The Sun over allegations of unlawful information gathering, his barrister has told the High Court. A hearing on Friday heard that Harry and former Labour Deputy Leader Tom Watson are now the only people continuing their claims against News Group newspapers after several others settled their cases. The two remaining cases are expected to go to trial in January of 2025, with Harry alleging he was targeted by journalists and private investigators who worked for NGN, who also published the now defunct News of the World. Obviously, that closed down after the Leveson inquiry, and that was a result of the phone hacking scandal. The publisher has previously denied unlawful activity took place at The Sun. Speaking on Friday, David Sherborne for the claimant said, the Duke of Sussex is one of only two claimants whose claims are still live in this matter. He continued, the reduction of the live claims to just two is a pretty recent development. The two sides have returned to court in Monday, asking a judge to rule on preliminary issues before the trial next year, with Lord Watson in attendance at the hearing. Many of the others have settled their claims in recent years, including actor Hugh Grant, actress Sienna Miller, ex-footballer Paul Gascoigne, comic Catherine Tate, and Spice Girls Melanie C. Mel C's 40 Spice. At a hearing in April, the High Court in London heard that Mr. Grant had settled his case against NGN because of the risk of a 10 million legal bill if his case went to trial. So basically, what Hugh Grant had explained was that if he was to lose, he would have to pay the news group and that not just what he was asking for, but also their legal fees, which are obviously in the millions. Mr. Sherborne said at the earlier hearing that the Duke of Sussex is subject to the same issues that Sienna Miller and Hugh Grant have been subjected to, which is that the offers are made that make it impossible for them to go ahead. Grant said he was offered an enormous sum of money to keep this matter out of court that he did not want to accept. And this is the problem. How do you have a system like this? There was a squaddy that actually wrote something quite interesting that I wanted to read. Give me a sec, because I think she made a very, very good point. And, you know, why all of this is so complicated, because it should not be that just because you don't have tens of millions that you can't get justice. So this is Sage Knows All from Twitter. She said, so now that Harry's team is allowed, so we're going to get on to the next part of this, which is the emails. But actually, do you know what? I should get on to that before I actually read what I Am Sage said. So the other thing that we've now learned is that emails from the palace staff and NGN, those are now going to be allowed, Harry is going to be allowed to see them. And we already know that there has been a lot of collusion between the palace and the press. But the fact that Harry is now being allowed to see those emails, I think is going to, first of all, clarify a lot of what I think we already knew and probably what Harry already knew. But it could also, depending on the content of those emails, really throw the royals, especially, into the lurch. You know, William has been looking very nervous recently, swaying around like a flag, looking like he's going to collapse. What is in those emails? So the Duke of Sussex can use further emails between executives of the publisher of The Sun and members of the royal household in his legal claim against the organisation, a high court has ruled. Barristers for both sides returned to court in London to ask a judge to rule on preliminary issues. In the ruling, Justice Fancourt said there was a degree of speculation whether any of the documents sought are going to assist the claimant's case, but ruled there was sufficient justification for some of the emails to be provided. He said, in all the circumstances, therefore, it seems to me that there is a limited category of documents where, despite the element of delay and despite the relative lateness of the application, there is a credible case for saying a full picture is necessary in the interest of justice. Of course, because Charles had discouraged Harry from taking this court to trial, despite the fact that the Queen was in support of it, to the point where he pulled security. And then Christiane Jones, who was an associate of Jason Nuff and Dan Wooten, and is now, I think he's still assisting actually with William, that day when William went to the hospital to see Kate for 15 minutes. I believe he was actually in the car, so he's still very much in the loop. Unless I'm mistaken and that wasn't Christiane Jones, you can correct me. But he has been in the loop, and for some reason, protecting Christiane Jones was more important than protecting Harry. And that's one of the reasons why, I think one of the many reasons why they are trying to stop Harry from taking this case to court. But Justice Fancourt did say, I will, however, limit the documents that are being sought. I mean, if you're going to get the truth from seeing all the documents, why not just let us see the documents? Let us see the emails. Jason Knopf thought that it was a good idea to try to make Meghan's emails and text messages public when he was trying to ruin her privacy case. So let us see the emails for this. Same energy, yes? David Sherborne for Harry had asked for the green light to see relevant emails sent between 5 email accounts of NGN employees and 5 of the employees of the royal household. Who are the 5 employees of the royal household who have been going back and forth with the tabloids? Who are they? Let's have some guesses. Definitely William, Charles, maybe even Camilla. But actually, I'll leave Camilla out. Not because I don't think she's involved, but I just don't. I don't think that she's involved in these particular emails. Probably, who was it? The Fly, the Bee, the Scorpion, that lot, the men in grey suits. So 5 employees of the royal household between January 2013 and September 2019, which he said would be highly relevant to the case. I mean, that's the period, in which Meghan was in the royal household for sure. So there's got to be something pretty nasty in those emails. The NGM employees included Rebecca Brooks, the chief executive of News UK from September 2015, Robert Thompson, the chief executive of News Corp from 2013, and Mike Darcy, the chief executive of News UK until 2015. The royal household employees are those involved in royal communications and the private secretaries to Her Majesty, the Queen. The actual Queen, the one who died, not Camilla. He said emails between NGN and the palace would be highly relevant in terms of providing the full picture, not only as to the actual knowledge of the claimant, but also as to the position in relation to constructive knowledge based on what the palace was being told by NGN. I mean, they were colluding together against Harry and Meghan. The court heard that some of the emails had already been provided by Ms. Brooks as early as April last year, but Mr. Sherborne said in court that these had been cherry-picked, of course. I mean, the fact that Rebecca Brooks is still in the picture tells you a lot. These emails contained discussions between NGN and the royal household before Harry began legal action in 2019, and included conversations about a possible apology being made by the publisher. Mr. Sherborne said that the further emails, as well as searching for 12 search terms within the communications of the 10 individuals, are highly likely to be relevant and may lead the court to draw inescapable inferences. NGN opposed the bid with its barrister, Anthony Hudson KC, describing it as disproportionate, time-consuming, and costly, and that extracting the emails would cost £17,000. Why would they cost £17,000? You done deleted them already, haven't you? Been deleting evidence. I mean, Rupert Murdoch deleted, 30 million emails? He said, we say this, in fact, clearly and, a speculative fishing exercise. This is a speculative fishing exercise, trying to find emails which does not have proper basis in the claimant's pleaded case, because it is not relevant to any of the issues in his claim. It is not necessary to ensure a fair trial. I think that if the tabloids were going back and forth with people in the royal household, given the way in which Harry and Meghan have been attacked year after year after year for the last 7 years, I think it is very relevant. Okay, thank you for all of you who are now streaming in. Hey, Connie Balmer. Hey, Valerie. Thank you so much, Church Nelly, for posting the links and coming in. Hey, Benjamin. Happy Monday to you. Okay. So yeah, let me read what Sage said. So now that Harry's team is allowed to access emails between NGN and Palace staff, this massively changes the stakes. NGN are not going to want those emails out there, and there is a good chance that they throw an obscene amount of money at Harry to settle. I trust Harry's judgment. He isn't stupid. He isn't going to bankrupt his family for this, because if his winnings are less than the offer that NGN made him, Harry is on the hook for NGN's lawyer fees, which are already in the tens of millions. This is why Hugh Grant decided to end his case. I won't blame him if he settles. He has been extremely brave and admirable to take it this far, but settling is the last thing he'll do, because Harry has proven he can't be bought. But he's also not stupid, and I'm sure if David tells him to settle, he will. But that being said, if I were Harry, I wouldn't take anything less than 50 million and a very public apology read by Rebecca Brooks herself. I mean, Rebecca Brooks is not going to want to do that. And Murdoch isn't going to want Rebecca Brooks to apologize either. But one thing I know for a fact, Harry will not settle just to protect his Windsor family from embarrassment. They acted appallingly and deserve to be exposed, and those emails will expose them, potentially. Now, Harry may be able to see them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we will. At least not for now. We'll see. Now, I'm not going to say out loud what I think was in those emails, but given what we've seen for the last 7 years, I think we can all take a guess. It is clear that they wanted Harry to come back and they wanted Meghan gone. And, we know that both Charles and Camilla are knee deep in the mud with the press. I mean, I think it was only just a week after Meghan won her privacy claim against Daily Fail and Jonathan Rothermere, who was Camilla with at an event kissing cheeks with Jonathan Rothermere. What are these people trying to hide? Because I don't just think it's a case of the tabloids not avoiding being embarrassed and avoiding being brought to justice. There are clearly things in the royal household that they don't want coming out, and I think the tabloids are threatening the royal household and trying to get them to drop the case. Otherwise, it's we're going to expose this, that, and the third about you. That's what I think is going on here. And I think Harry was very right when he said his family are trapped. But one thing that will set you free is the truth. And it's better to tell your own truth than to be held hostage by the tabloids holding your secrets and using those secrets as collateral. Whatever it is that these people don't want to come out, it's always better to expose yourself and your own wrongdoings than it is to have somebody else do it. It's always more scandalous when somebody else does it. And at this rate, we all know whatever it is they're hiding is going to come out eventually. And if Andrew can lead the family to church after everything that came out about him and Epstein, and nobody's out here protesting, really and truly, what is it that these people are hiding that is going to be so bad? And you know what? Your popularity is declining anyway. So let's all come out and we'll grab Oprah, we'll fly her over, and we can sit down and do a tell-all, and then we can get to the PR cleanup operation, which won't be too difficult because it's not like people ever protest about anything when it comes to the royals. To me, this could all be solved very, very simply by the leftover royals just accepting defeat. Tell your truth and accept defeat. I actually think it's that simple. Unless what they're hiding is so much more worse than Andrew being friends with Epstein. I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think in the comment section. VU said, with the email, Harry can use them to get his security back and Frogmore if he wants to. No more renting, give him the property. I don't, honestly, babe, Frogmore, whatever. We've got a whole mansion in Montecito. Apparently we're buying another property in Portugal. Is anybody even thinking about Frogmore anymore? Is anyone? I don't even think about that anymore. I just think that where Harry and Meghan are now, it's above and beyond anything that they're ever going to have in the UK being sabotaged all the time. And when it comes to the security, if there was somebody in the British government who had a backbone, well, Harry could get security without Charles's permission. I don't necessarily think that Harry's going to use whatever's in those emails to get his security back. Wendy, you said, it's sad to know Harry's father and brother tried to destroy his marriage and Meghan's reputation. Yeah, it's really sad. I think this picture really sums it up. Kate and William drinking cold tea, Harry and Meghan drinking champagne. Personally, don't be surprised if they start deleting emails. To me, it seems like, given that Rebecca Brooks gave them cherry-picked emails, they probably already have. But I wonder if they have been deleting emails. Could that be evidence tampering? In other news, you know, you have the Daily Fail who continue to push this narrative about Meghan being lonely, despite the fact that almost every single time she steps out, she's with friends. And you just have to wonder, like, who is still reading and believing this stuff? Oh, I'll tell you who's still reading and believing this stuff. Actually, I forgot to put it on the slide, but there was a Deranger who posted online that she went to, I think she went to the doctor's office for her son. And she randomly asked somebody at the doctor's office what they thought about Harry and Meghan. Like, these people think about Harry and Meghan more than Harry and Meghan's own fans. It is truly, truly strange. We don't call them derangers for no reason. They have earned that title. Because how are you at the doctor's office asking random people what they think about Harry and Meghan when you should be focusing on the son? Ah, yeah, here it is. I was just looking for the tweet. At the doctor's, son is having LASIK. Doctor is from London. I asked his opinion of Harry and Meghan. He loves them. I told him my thoughts, and at the end of our discussion, I told him not to hold it against my son, who he was about to operate on. How could an educated person be so clueless? And then somebody responded, just curious, why would you ask your son's doctor for his views on Harry and Meghan? And then the person responded, after he told me he was from the UK, I just wanted his thoughts. I don't meet that many people from the UK here in the United States. In the doctor's office while your son is getting LASIK. Very, very sad person. Very, very sad person. Sharon, you said, I think Harry is happier staying with his Spencer relatives than he ever would be back at Frogmore. Exactly. And it seems like they have really stuck by him, and they know that they're going to get for doing so. Can you hear me? Yeah. Are we okay for sound now? Okay, do you know what? I'd pretty much said all that I wanted to say anyway. So since the sound wants to play up, I think we can just end things there, no problem. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out, folks. Thank you as always for joining me. And also make sure to follow on Instagram, Duchess of Success Official, because you get news a lot faster, because I pretty much post everything on Instagram as soon as it comes in. So if you want on the hour news, it's better to follow then. Sorry, the sound went a bit funny at the end there, but I was pretty much finished anyway. Appreciate you all and enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao.